A gunshot echoed through the forest, but the hunter missed. Not because of luck, not because the eagle flew away. He missed because of something almost impossible. Tiny ant. Yes, a small ant saved the life of a mighty eagle. To understand how that happened, we need to go back to the beginning. It was a brutally hot afternoon. The ground was cracked. The air was dry, and a tiny ant was walking alone. She had been searching for water for hours. Her legs were weak, her body exhausted, but she kept going. Because when survival is the goal, stopping is not an option. Then suddenly something flashed in the distance. The ant froze. She lifted her antennae. Water, a river, fresh, flowing, powerful. Hope filled her tiny body. She rushed toward it, step after step. Closer, closer, until she finally reached the riverbank. There was a small branch stretched over the edge like a narrow bridge. Slowly, carefully, the ant walked across it. Below her, the river moved like a living force. She leaned down to drink, and for one beautiful second, everything felt perfect. Then it happened. Her foot slipped. In the blink of an eye, she fell into the river. The current was merciless, as the ant was tossed through the water like a grain of sand, spinning, struggling, fighting. But the river was enormous, and she was almost nothing. Have you ever felt that way? Like life is too big, you're too small to fight it? That's exactly how the ant felt. She tried to scream, but her voice was tiny, almost silent. Yet somehow, high above the valley, an eagle was flying, calm, majestic, watching the world below. And something unusual caught her eye. Movement in the river. A struggle. The eagle looked closer. A tiny ant. Now think about this for a moment. What is an ant? To an eagle? Nothing. She could have ignored it. Most creatures would. But something stopped her, because a good heart doesn't measure worth by size. It simply chooses to help. The eagle swooped down toward the river. "Little one," she called. "Hold on. I can't grab you, but I can save you." The ant was barely holding on, but she lifted her antennae in desperation. The eagle flew to a nearby tree. She grabbed a large leaf with her beak. Then she returned to the river. The wind moved gently through the valley. The eagle released the leaf. It floated down slowly, drifting across the water, closer, closer, until it landed beside the struggling ant. The ant grabbed it instantly, clinging with every ounce of strength she had left. Slowly, the leaf drifted toward the shore. Finally, the ant reached land again, alive, safe. Shaking with relief, she looked up at the sky. The eagle circled above. "Thank you," the ant whispered. "You saved my life." And in that moment, she made a promise. If she ever had the chance, she would return that kindness. But there was one problem. How could a tiny ant ever repay a powerful eagle? At the time, it seemed impossible. But life has strange ways of balancing things. Weeks passed, then months. Life returned to normal. The ant worked with her colony, carrying food, helping others, living quietly. But she never forgot the eagle. Then one afternoon, everything changed. Heavy footsteps echoed through the forest. The ant quickly hid behind a rock and watched. A man stepped through the trees, a hunter. His boots crushed the dry leaves. A rifle rested in his hands. The ant followed the direction of his gaze. And suddenly her heart stopped. High on a branch was the eagle, the same eagle who had saved her life. Peaceful, still, completely unaware. The hunter slowly raised his rifle, aimed carefully. The forest went silent. This was the moment. The ant had a choice. Stay hidden or act. Fear said stay, but gratitude said move. And gratitude was louder. The ant ran, climbed onto the hunter's boot, up the laces, crossed the leather, higher, faster. The hunter focused on the eagle. His finger tightened on the trigger. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. 1, the ant bit him. Hard. The hunter jerked in pain. The rifle fired wildly into the trees. The explosion shattered the silence. Startled by the noise, the eagle spread her wings and shot into the sky. Gone. Safe. The hunter shouted in frustration, looking around angrily. But the ant had already disappeared under a rock. And deep inside, she felt something powerful. Peace. She had kept her promise. High above the forest, the eagle flew free. She would never know exactly what had happened, but the balance of kindness had been restored. That's the strange truth about life. The eagle saved the ant, and one day, the ant saved the eagle. Kindness moves in circles. What you give eventually returns. Maybe not immediately, maybe not in the same way, but it always finds a path back. Maybe today you feel small, invisible, like your actions don't matter. But remember this story. Sometimes the smallest creature changes the biggest destiny. If this story made you think, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you enjoy stories that reveal powerful truths about life, kindness, and purpose, subscribe to the channel, because sometimes the smallest stories carry the greatest wisdom.